it's certainly going to be the biggest thing to happen in motorsport in Western Australia's history.
And like we were discussing off camera earlier, something like this is worth waiting that extra few days for, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. All the hard work that's gone on and all the negotiations over table and thumping and things like that, all that stuff will just pale into insignificance once the facility's open and everyone can just see what a fantastic place it is. And I know Con and myself and all the crew at the Motorplex office, everyone's just walking around with smiles that you can't wipe off their face, because to be involved with such a project of this stature, there's nothing like it anywhere in this country. There is unlikely to be anything like this in this country, and there's very few places that come even close to this anywhere in the world. So it's absolutely fantastic.
Well, I know with feedback that I've been getting, they're talking about it in America, they're talking about it in the eastern states, they're really talking about it around Perth, and we just can't wait.
I'm glad to hear everyone's talking about it, because you know, all of us guys, we've managed to pull a rabbit out of a hat on this one, and we must acknowledge, of course, the state government all the way up to the Premier, who understands how big the sports of speedway and drag racing are, and also for all the people involved with the sports too, because this whole facility, the design of the facility, as we've mentioned before, is all about fun, and the coast from Fremantle to Rockingham's known as the Fun Coast, and we're certainly part of that now, and we're all looking forward to the fun times.
Oh, well, that's all we've got for you at this stage from the Motorplex. Again, thanks to yourself too, Con, for showing us around, getting a bit of information. We're down here at the Motorplex again. This will probably be our last update before opening night, 15th for Speedway, 16th for drag racing. Steve's back from America. I've got back from our trip over at Bendigo, and what a great trip it was. Everybody that went along, all 22 of us, all have a good time. Everybody seemed to pick up something that they were after. Not everybody got exactly what they, or the total amount of what they wanted, but we did all end up bringing something home, and as I say, the trip went well. And now with that, we're looking at also putting together another trip over to Ballarat for the swap meet over there in February. If anybody's interested in doing anything on that one, give me a call, 0412 682 761, and providing we can get a similar amount of starters on this one, we'll be looking at your role with Andrew itself.
I'm the National Technical Officer for Andrew, based in Adelaide.
Which means that you've got to get out and certify all the tracks.
Yeah, that's correct. We're doing a track audit of every track around the country at the moment, Kwinana being the first. So I've got a fair benchmark to kick things off with, I'd say.
Okay, it's the first time you've actually seen the track since it started?
It is. I was here about a year ago, and it was just vacant land. You virtually had to use your imagination pretty well, but it's a magnificent complex.
Okay, and there's nothing else anywhere in Australia that's close to it?
I'd say that Kwinana have certainly raised the bar as far as standards around Australia and the world, for that matter. It's I'd say they've used world's best practice in everything they've done here. It's magnificent.
And as far as getting overseas to look at tracks, have you looked at many of them over the years?
Yes, I was in the States in July and August and did a tour of probably 4 or 5 tracks, and I would say that this one is superior, for sure.
To what you've seen overseas?
To what I've seen overseas. Pomona would probably be on a level. I would think engineering-wise and structure-wise this place would be better, this facility. Pomona's probably the best track I've seen in the States, and that would be amongst the world's best tracks.
Well, I know Steve's just got back from Pomona there last weekend, and we'll have a bit of footage of that coming to the viewers so they can sort of see that one as well.
Yeah, be good to compare.
But what sort of things are you actually looking for down here?
We've got basic criteria for any track around the country. They're graded in levels from international, national, regional and temporary. And each track, each level has to meet certain criteria as far as width of the track, preparation of the surface, facilities as far as spectators, distance from the spectator area to the racing area, all that sort of measurement detail that we need to satisfy.
And the safety factor would be a big part of what you're looking at?
That's correct, yeah. The barriers are a big issue in the higher level tracks, the international level tracks, so this one certainly exceeds our requirements. It's great.
Okay, another little novel thing here is the crash gate down there. It's incorporated in the wall so as to not cause a hazard to the drivers, but still be accessible for the emergency crews.
Yeah, that's excellent. No breaking the barrier whatsoever. Very safe. I like the engineering behind it too. It's magnificent what they've done down there.
Well, I don't think it's sort of something that was really thought out overnight in a dream,
right.
but I know for Gary and Con and Pete down here, it is a dream come to reality for them.
It certainly is. It's a credit to all of them.
Yeah, at this stage, we're nearly 3 weeks. By the time this goes to air, just over 2 weeks of the first meet. Would you like to be here?
I'd love to be here, but unfortunately I've got commitments interstate. I'd love to be here. I'll be here for the Western Nationals, I'd say.
Okay, but what you've said, the track has passed and it's met your
Yes,
approval?
it most definitely gets the thumbs up. Absolutely.
Okay, thanks for your time there, Maury.
Thank you.
Now we'll actually cross